I'm by the jail now. I just live around the corner here. It's followed me from the grocery store lot over here. This is a classic narcissistic abuse right here. They love to abuse their power, which this is not. This is like an empty victory. Have you follow somebody around all the time? I mean, I don't see any victory in that. I don't see the point in it anyway, because I'm not a fucking psychopath or a sociopath. So I don't have an issue like that. But this is how people get killed. I mean, this is why I'm always posting on Facebook about this, because they gang stalk. They call your jobs and get you fired. I've gotten fired from like 3 jobs. I lost my job one time and I got it back because I asked for my job back. And I was like 15 when I worked at Gibson Arena, because I lied. I haven't lied ever since. George Sheridan taught me a big lesson. And now I'm 52 and I'm having to deal with this kind of stuff. I mean, it's unreal, really. And the thing is that he's involved everybody that I've known from my past. All my ex-boyfriends, they've participated in the gang stalking. Any friends that I outgrew, you just outgrow people. I mean, it's not that I don't like people no more, I just outgrew people and they took it personal, I guess. I don't know. But that ain't my fucking problem. And this is what I'm getting. And I've had it the last 2 years since he got out of prison early. He went in for burning his girlfriend's neck with his meth torch and did like maybe 5 months. And it was like a 2-year sentence. And I don't even know why it was only 2 years, because he was intending to kill her, because he tried to kill me more than once. And so this is what I've had to deal with ever since that he's gotten out. He's infiltrated everybody that I've met, all my old friends, new friends, any like guy friends that I have, he has turned them against me. That's what they do. They make them into flying monkeys. They smear your name. And any exes of mine, of course, a couple of them I had to get restraining orders on, because I've always went for those guys that have mommy issues, so they got some real issues when they got mommy issues. So I've had to get a couple of restraining orders. But here I am, and I guess my next stop now is a lawyer. I mean, I've been labeled a thief in my community. They've called my jobs and told my employers that I'm a thief. I've never been a thief in my life. I don't have to steal. I don't need to do that. If I needed money, I would ask my employer to take it out of my check if he could front it to me. I would never steal from my employer. So I guess my next step is a lawyer, and to see what I can do about this. Now it's above my house right here. Hang on, I'll have to get it. There. See it? Flashing? It's right there. So yeah, it was behind my neighbor's window and my bedroom window, which I just keep giving them the finger, because they're all fucking pussies in my book. You're gonna gang up 10, 15 people on a woman that's 5'3", 120 pounds. Come on now. Come on. You guys are fucking pussies. In my book. That ain't how we settle things in my family. That ain't how I was raised. If you had an issue with somebody, you fucking dealt with it, and somebody got an ass whipping. Bottom line. And if you didn't want to go back to an abusive man, you didn't have to. And he couldn't play God and come in between your relationships and infiltrate them and, try to play God, Like, he has done this to every former woman he's had. He's infiltrated their relationships, had them... I mean, he can force people to do shit because he scares people, which, in fact, I'm not scared of him. I mean, hell, I done knocked down, drag out with him already, and he's beat my ass more than once, and I ain't scared to take an ass whipping. But he's done this manipulation all his life, and he takes pictures of people and then blackmails them with the pictures, and then extorts money out of them, or puts it on Craigslist. He did that after him and I split up. You could see the camera was at the end of the couch that made a bed, and for some reason, my intuition said, look on Craigslist, and there was his fat fucking ass spread eagle with her on top of him, and he blackmailed that girl and extorted money. He's done it to several people. I mean, that's his MO. He can't make it on his own. So this is how he makes it in life. He does dirty shit like this, which in my book is, if you're going to blackmail somebody, you're really a fucking pussy, you know? But I guess my next stop now is to get a lawyer and deal with it that way, because I don't know what else to do. At this point, I've called the sheriff all last summer, not this past summer, but the summer before. I moved in my apartment 2020 of August, and I had to move out a month later because he was sending so many people. I lived on a dead end, and he sent so many people down there stalking me. And look, I'm not cracking on nobody or judging nobody, but a bunch of meth heads, you know, I don't want a bunch of meth heads around me. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it, you know. If I wanted that, I would go around it. But for him to put my neighbors in danger as well as me, you know, there's some serious mental health issues here. And I voiced it. I called his probation officer. There it is over my house. I've called his probation officer for 2 weeks in a row in 2020, every day. And the last day he told me not to call back again. And he said he can't get off that monitor. And I said, he's a 2-time violent felon. He knows how to get past that monitor. I mean, shit. You got to be a fucking rocket science. Then I've written the judge in the last 2 months. And it's been about 3 months ago, I wrote the judge in Darke County, Ohio twice, and I've never heard anything back about him, about my letter or any concern about it or anything. And, I mean, what do? You can't get any help from anybody, you know? I mean, at this point, it wouldn't bother me one bit to blow his fucking head off, because I'm sick of the shit. I can't, you know? I get a job, he's going to harass me or have other people harass me and call my job and make it hard for me. All because I wouldn't go back to his abuse. This is all because I wouldn't let him have control of me. You know, when you go back, every time you go back, I went back 13 times. This man kicked me out of my house 13 times. And I went back 13 times. My therapist said, Stephanie, the average person goes back to their abuser 7. She said, are you trying to get yourself killed? That's how bad the trauma bond is real. I mean, he knows how to do all that. And I went back 13 times. And because after he got out of prison, I wouldn't financially help him, because he financially ruined me. I mean, he stole from me. I was paying my car payment directly to him. It was in his name, but I paid it through Walmart MoneyGram, and I had all the receipts for it. And he told me one night, just go pay it straight to the loan company. And I said, no, it's court ordered to pay it through Walmart, and that's what I'm going to do, because if I would have done it like that, he'd have had an issue with that. That's the way he is. You know, it's called a double bind in psychology. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you did what he says, it still ain't good enough, you know, so it didn't fucking matter. And so they repoed that car, and he was driving the truck it was in his name too. I was the co-signer on that. And he let it go back, and he messed it all up, and I had to pay like $600 to get it out and of a repo, and I got it out, and the payment was $400 a month, and I had so many things to pay for. The repairs, it was killing me, and I had to let it go back, and I haven't had a vehicle since. I mean, I was destitute in every way. I was homeless. I mean, I've been living at my mom's since then, and of course I got the apartment, but I had to move out in a month because the harassment and him riding his Harley up and down the road at 5 o'clock in the morning and leave out at 7. He'd stay there till like 7. I'd call the sheriff, and they'd come down, and they couldn't do nothing about it. I said, but he's on probation in Ohio, and I know that's him. I mean, come on. Who's going to ride at 5 in the morning on a Harley but him? What a jackass. And then they couldn't do anything. And I mean, he broke in my phone and could turn on my location. I mean, he had control of my phone. That's how controlling he is. He somehow got into my phone and controlled it, and it wouldn't even let me do I was the administrator on my phone, and it wouldn't even let me get to that. And I'm not technical, so I was just, you know, a wreck. And it's when you are in a narcissistic abuse, it's the psychological abuse is horrible. I mean, horrible. It's it causes brain damage, and it's the hippocampus is damaged from it. So I can't like think on my feet, you know what I mean? Or I'll forget just things that I should remember. You know what I mean? It takes my brain a minute to catch up. And so besides the brain injury from the abuse, the CPTSD is horrible because I get triggered. I've been trying to learn how to handle my triggers, but sometimes it just comes back. He was so horribly abusive that I had nightmares for over a year about him every night. I couldn't hardly sleep. It was horrible. I mean, I just don't understand how somebody can be what is inside of a person, that they can be more than cruel. There's not a stronger word than cruel that I can think of. But I just wanted to document this and, put it on Facebook and put it out there because my abuse is my testimony. And if I don't put it out there, then I won't be helping anybody else that might need the help, because I thought I was the only one. I swear I thought I was the only one that had been through this abuse until I got on some groups and noticed everybody in the groups. These narcissists, they go by the same playbook. They run the same game over and over, loop it back and forth. I'm like, well, the strategy is shitty because you can only dump somebody so many times and they don't give a shit no more, I mean, and when you get out of that trauma bond, you really don't want to go back because that's when you get, the chances are highest for them to kill. I mean, because that's why women, it's hard for women to leave their abusers if they know. You usually have to sneak away, and not take. And women can't take anything. You don't take any belongings. Only what you can carry because you got to go. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad that the domestic violence in America, and it's not taken care of. And I'm working on trying to figure out a way to educate law enforcement. I mean, I don't know. I do know this. I do know that I'm tired of feeling like that. Well, I am being watched all the time. I'm being followed all the time. If it's not a drone, they break into my Wi-Fi still. They've gotten into my Facebook account several times. I mean, I had just recovered this account, I think in January. I can't remember, really. And I got, they break into it all the time. You can tell because it'll say finish your phone number. Or there'll be little clues that they've broken into my my Facebook account and my YouTube. They break into it all the time because it's right there in my face because it'll flash and say back online because that's how they break the firewall. But yeah, I'm just glad I don't have no kids with him because that's how most women get stuck. But it doesn't matter with them. With a narcissist, they think they own you. In their fucked up head, they think they own you. Well, no, you don't own me, motherfucker. I'm sorry. But I want everybody to see this so that they know. And I don't care what anybody thinks of what I'm saying because it's my truth. If you think I'm crazy, then so be it. I lived it. I know what's going on. So if you know anybody else in this situation, they need to educate themselves. But I suppose I'll go in and shut all my curtains in my bedroom, make sure that the drone don't go down there. It's like I can't even undress. I feel like somebody's watching me all the time when I'm undressing in my room. It's like I want to get in the closet and shut the doors to get dressed. Record my phone conversations because I don't carry a cell phone anymore after they broke my cell phone. I haven't had a cell phone. Well, I got one and they is that another one? It is. There's two now. The fucking weirdos, man. See, this is the thing is like, motherfucker knows not to come to my house because it ain't gonna be pretty. I hope they fly right down here so everybody gets a real good close-up of it. And this is the thing is that all this, it's cluster B personality disorder is what this narcissism is under, and sociopath and psychopaths. Damn, is that another one? How many they got? These are all because of unresolved childhood traumas. Everybody has childhood wounds. I don't care who you are. And if you don't resolve those, they manifest in adulthood And this, whatever brain you were traumatized, whatever age you were traumatized at, like say 8 years old, you grow up to an adult and you have that 8-year-old mentality your whole life. Yet you can function. I don't know how that works, but so that's what that's about. And it's unresolved trauma is what all this is. And I don't know where I was going with the rest of it. I'm really just tired of it. But yeah, I'm going to post this video because I'm going to start putting it out there for me to be away from him. I divorced him in 2017 or early 2018, and it's 2021, almost 2022, and it's still going on, and I haven't gotten any help from law enforcement. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any justice at all. Today I haven't carried any mace for like a week. It's the first time I haven't carried any mace and a striker tool with it, because I always carry something to make sure I can defend myself, but yeah, it's not something that I wish on anybody to have to deal with this stuff. And look, I say everybody knows I'm not just some cold hard bitch, and I don't operate like that. After all the stuff that this man's done to me and told me in graphic detail how he's going to kill my kids, I still don't want any ill, done to him, because that would make me just like him. But I've reached out to the judge and mentioned the mental illness, and his probation officer, as well as one of his daughters, the only one that he talks to, and she laughed at me. So I have tried to, and I've planted the seed to let everybody know that he needs an evaluation and some medication, and probably a psychiatric facility, in my opinion. I mean, if I was a psychiatrist, it's the first place he'd be going is the solitary confinement, because he can't function in society. That's he's made that clear. This is some really serious mental health issues going on here with all these drones and stuff. I'm surprised he hasn't found a way in my house and bugged that where he can record me. Last summer, this neighborhood that my mom lives in is pretty private. It's not a gated community, but it's a lot of older people, but there are like about 8 young families that live here, and he had these people gang stalking me through here, and they would just fly through here, and I thought, I hope they don't hit a kid. I mean, they don't think about shit like that. They don't think about somebody else getting hurt. It's all about them, because that's what a narcissist is. Everything is about them. That nothing matters but them. Nobody, it don't matter. I mean, nothing matters but what they want, what they can get. It's sickening. It's really sick.